Hi, my name is Terry Harrington, and I would like to welcome you to a new edition of Technically Speaking. Technically Speaking is a monthly program produced by St. Clair County RESA, featuring the St. Clair County Technical Education Center. Not only will we show you what is offered, but we'll give you an in-depth look at the variety of programs of study provided here at Tech. In this edition of Technically Speaking, we are exploring the Construction Trades program. Here's a best-known secret in our area. I'm sure you didn't know that most of the homes across the road from the RESA campus here in Marysville were built by Tech students. So the main focus of this program will be a tour of several of the new houses that students are currently building. We will also learn much more about the Construction Trades program with Tech instructor Marv Shagney when we come back from this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Technically Speaking. I'm standing inside a beautiful home that has been built by the students in the Construction Trades program at St. Clair Tech. This house is located at a quiet cul-de-sac in Marysville. The address really is 650 Oregon Street. And we're going to talk more about the house in a minute, but first I'd like to introduce you to the instructor of the Construction Trade program, Marv Shagney. Welcome to the program, Marv.
Hi, Terry.
Marv, one of the really unique things about the instructors at Tech is the background that you teachers have. Because not only do you have the teaching skills, but you also have the skills in the various trades that you're teaching the kids. So what's Marv's background?
Well, I first started out at Michigan Tech University. I have a civil engineering degree, and I've done construction my whole life. I started with my grandfather when I was about 8 years old, so I've been doing construction for my whole life. So I've been around.
But here in Port Huron, you've had a chance to work on some pretty unique projects around the area.
Right. I built a few homes in Port Huron, Macomb County. I have a builder's license. I also got in here working for Tech and teaching students, and I enjoy what I'm doing right now.
Well, what kind of skills are you actually teaching the students in this program?
We're teaching, they learn carpentry, plumbing, masonry, and electrical. And
I would imagine with the skills that they will learn here, everything, like you mentioned, from the electrical to the plumbing and obviously carpentry and all of that, that can be applied to probably 1,000 different jobs.
Oh yes, yep. And then also, it is a 2-year program. So they start out as a junior, and we go through all the safety, and we hit all the plumbing, electrical, masonry, and carpentry. And then they apply it when they come over to the house as a senior and build these homes.
Now, is there any kind of a state certification or a state license that you're helping to build the students up?
Right now with the Construction Teachers Association, we're trying to work with the state to get the kids ready for their builder's license. So we're in the process of doing that right now.
I think it's a pretty good secret that a lot of the homes across the street from the RESA campus, and now here we're in this cul-de-sac behind those homes, all built by students. Is that kind of unique in Michigan, or do some of the other programs have the chance for kids to build homes like you are doing here?
Well, most of the other campuses that around the state, they don't have the property. Like if you're in an inner city, they can't go out and build homes, so they do a lot of in-house. They do modules, so they're working on modules, or they build a mock-up house inside of a building.
Oh, okay. Now I know when it comes to building a home, there's all kinds of different things you have, from plumbing, electrical, heating, and all that. Do the students do everything here, or do some of the local contractors also work with the kids and do some of the technical stuff and then show the kids how they're doing it as they go?
Well, what we do here with the homes here now is we hire a contractor to do the footings and the concrete walls, the basement walls. We hire a heating contractor, and then we hire a drywall finisher to finish the drywall. Everything else is done by the student.
Wow, what a great opportunity for the kids. Of course. So here we are, as we mentioned earlier, we're at 650 Oregon in Marysville. So let's talk a little bit about this house. Give us an idea what the general layout is and how this all came about.
Well, this home is a cathedral ceiling. It is 1,500 square feet. Has 3 bedrooms, full basement. The basement is not finished on this home, but the other 2 homes that we're doing on this cul-de-sac are finished. So we are starting to finish the basements. So it's a little better selling point when the buyer wants to buy the house.
Now I noticed going down into the basement, it's like a poured wall rather than a block. Is that typical for most new construction in this area?
Yeah, that's the new way of building homes, is poured walls other than a block wall, because it's structurally sound and a lot better for your home.
So this house was a little unique in terms of how it was built. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this home was built on site over at TEC, over at the SCCRESA school. They actually put the drywall in and all the electrical, all the plumbing, and stubbed it out through the basement area. And then they loaded it onto a semi-truck and brought the home over here and set it on top of the foundation.
So it's kind of almost a prefab.
Yeah,
but
like a prefab home.
Right. Now, is that the way a lot of home construction is going today, or is that just unique because of having the students and trying to make that whole piece work?
Well, there are some centers that do build homes on site and then have them trucked off when a buyer buys it. But TEC decided that we're going to just do it on site, and I think it's better to bring the kids over on a job site.
Sure. Now, is this home, was it designed by the kids or one of the instructors, or how did this home design come up?
Well, this one was designed by the instructor. The kids had input with it, so while they were designing it, they decided how big they wanted to make the bedrooms and the bathrooms. We do that with every home. We have the kids get involved on how much material we need to put into this house. They get to figure it out. They get to actually put it in the home, so they get real job experience.
Now, do the students get to pick which skill area to work in, or do they basically do all of it?
In the past, the instructors had students just pick electrical or plumbing or carpentry, and then they did that the whole 2 years. Well, I felt that every student should know everything, so I've changed that a little bit, and every student goes through every facet of the construction.
I've seen some construction being done in the past. How do you work out the timing? Because obviously the electrical's got to wait for the carpentry to be done. The drywall kids have to wait until electrical's done. How do you work all of that?
Well, it's management. You got to manage the whole thing. You stress out a little bit, but it all works out. And the kids enjoy it, because some kids think, well, I want to be a carpenter and that's all I want to do. Once they get into electrical, they go, wow, I really like electrical. So that's what they jump into, and I've had a lot of kids, they've come back to me from my prior students, and they said, you know, I really liked electrical. I got into the electrical union, and in the last couple months I've had 4 students come to me and say they're working in an electrical union now. So
Pretty unique opportunity for the kids.
Great.
I know this is one of 3 houses that the students are currently building in this cul-de-sac. So when we come back, Marv and I are going to take you over to see one of the other construction sites that's currently being done, so don't go away. Welcome back to Technically Speaking. We're in the second of 3 houses we want to show you on this edition of Technically Speaking that's being built by students at the St. Clair County Technical Education Center. And this house is at 645 Oregon in Marysville. And Marv, it's kind of interesting to see, from a house that's almost completed to where we are now. Tell us a little bit about what the shape of the house is and what you expect to see happening in the next few days.
Well, this house is just roughed in right now. Has all the exterior is all closed in, so it has the roof on, shingles, siding. It's all closed in so that when the winter hits, it doesn't blow into the house. It keeps it nice and dry. Right now, the students are working on electrical, and I'm working with 11th graders right now, teaching them how to install electrical. So that's our next step is plumbing, which the seniors are going to come over here and get the plumbing started. And then once the seniors get the plumbing started, then the juniors will take over and install all the electrical in this home.
And of course, too, like any other home construction, you've got the city of Marysville be coming in, doing their inspections and some of those kind of things. So the students really get an instant feedback on how they've done with the work that they're doing.
Yep, and they're also involved with all that. So I want them to see what it's like to have an inspector come in and look at the home and deny some things, because there are mistakes that's made, and the inspector wants certain things done correctly.
I'm sure this class, like any other class, you have a lot of time you spend in the classroom before they get out to do what they're doing here today.
Oh yes, we spend many hours in the classroom before we come over here and work.
There's a lot of it going over like codes and what their communities require and all of that kind of stuff.
Yep, different areas like St. Clair County have certain codes that we have to follow and we have to do. It's a statewide code, but yet certain counties have special codes that we have to follow. So I have to know those, and I have to teach them to the student.
I imagine too the students must have a pretty good skill set even just to get into the program to be successful, don't they?
A lot of them come to the tech center with no skills at all, which is great for me, because then I can teach them the correct way without them thinking they know what they're doing, and we make big mistakes.
What about those secondary skills like science or math? And
Math and science is a big plus. If they can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and also do some geometry, it helps a lot with what we're doing here, because we make a lot of angle cuts and a lot. As you can see here, as we're standing in the kitchen, it's not just a square kitchen, so we put some dimensions to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you this is one of those few classes that really answer those questions for geometry and algebra. Says, why do I need to learn this?
Right. I've had many students come to me after, just before they graduated, they said, "Oh, I understand why I need to why I have to understand angles and learn how to divide, multiply, and subtract." So,
now, what kind of student flourishes in your type of program? What are the typical student like?
hands-on student really excel in this program. If they like to work with their hands, those are the students that really excel in this program.
I know one of the unique things over at Tech is a lot of the students get to compete in state and national competitions. Do the students in the construction trades program get that opportunity as well?
Oh yes, we have a Skills USA. It's a construction program. I have the plumbing, the electrical, masonry, and carpentry. I have students in each one of those programs, 2 or 3 students, and they compete against it. Actually, this weekend, we're having a local competition.
Okay. How competitive are these competitions?
It's very competitive. They have 4 hours to build a project that I've set up for them, and of course, I set it so that they have to work really fast and hard and think. So it's a good competition.
Well, with any competition, there's always a lot of practice. Do the students do a lot of work with you after school too to prepare?
Oh yeah, we spend at least 3 to 6 hours a week after school preparing for these competitions. Especially when we're going to states, we bump it up to 6 to 9 hours a week that we have to practice.
Okay. Well, give us some details about this particular house. You mentioned earlier that we're standing in the kitchen, which I can find.
We're here in the kitchen, and then out is the dining room area, and we have 2 bedrooms over on the south side here. And then behind us here, where the students are working, they're in the master bedroom. And there's a bathroom off that with a walk-in closet.
Okay. I was going to say, even at the other house, I noticed there's quite a bit of storage space. That seems to always be a problem in any house we have, that never have enough closets. But it looks like here you're pretty adequate here.
Closet space, and also in the basement, we started in the last 2 years, we're finishing the basements. So we've just framed in the basement, and we'll be putting electrical and plumbing in there in the basement, because we have a bathroom also in the basement and a bedroom in the basement. So this house actually has 4 bedrooms.
Oh, really? Okay, that's great. Now, with the basement, is there anything special you have to do there because you're putting a bedroom down there?
You have to put egress windows, so if you did have a fire, you can get somebody out of the bedroom. That's code. So that's about the only thing that has to be done.
And I noticed one thing too that's unique to this house that from the one we were at previously is you got an attached garage on this.
Yes, it's a 2-car garage, so it's a nice attached garage that's part of this program.
Now, is there any kind of code for that to have a specific size garage based on the size of the house, or is that pretty much to whatever the homeowner or the builder wants to do?
There's no really code. The only code that you have to do is you have to have a fire stop between the garage and the house. Mm-hmm. So you have to set up 5/8 drywall to have a fire stop.
Okay. Typically, how long would it take for the students to build a home like this?
It's a 2-class, so there's a morning class and an afternoon class. We finish a home in about 1.5 years. We were getting them done in a year, and we felt that was a little bit too fast. So we went to our director and said, we'd like to take 1.5 years to build these homes, and he agreed with us. So we're taking 1.5 years per house.
Now, say you were doing this for a living, building a house, and you're to do a house this size. how much would it take the typical contractor to do?
3 months.
Okay, so that's quite a bit of time, but I mean,
At a time.
but look at what you're doing and how many workers you have.
A
And,
contractor brings in subcontractors, and you have like 4 or 5 subcontractors in here, and they're working 8 to 10 hours a day. We're only working 2.5 hours a day per class, so we're only putting about 5 hours, or I'm sorry, 5 hours on a house.
okay, so quite a difference, but what an experience for these kids again. It's great. Well, I know there's one more house you want us to show us, so why don't we head on down to 630 Oregon, take a look, see the progress on that house.
All right.
Great.
Good.
Well, here we are at the third home being built by the students at the construction trades program at Tech. This address is 630 Oregon Street in Marysville. Marv, tell us a little bit about this house.
This house basically mimics 645. As you can see, the kitchen here is laid out pretty much the same, except for we have vaulted ceilings at 645, and we have flat top ceilings in this home.
I saw one thing too, as we were taking a little tour earlier, just kind of getting the layout for what we're going to be doing here today. You kind of unique situation with the master bathroom, where you have 2 bathrooms off the master bedroom there.
Yeah, it's a his and her bathroom. It's a little design that came with the print, and we changed that a little bit up on 645. It just has 1 master bathroom, but it's kind of unique. So if somebody likes having 2 bathrooms in your master bathroom or master bedroom, it's a little different.
One thing too, another unique feature of this home that I really like, I know my wife would really appreciate that, even though you got a full basement, laundry is upstairs on the main floor.
Yeah, that's really nice for when you get older. You don't have to climb stairs. You can do everything up on your main floor. I think that's a big plus with these homes. We try to keep it, and we keep ideas of, so you don't have to travel your clothing and your product up and down stairs.
Now, how many homes have the students at Tech built over the years?
Actually, they built 35 homes we've been around 36 years.
So, well, almost averaging pretty much a home a year. And I know a few years ago too, before this subdivision was started, kind of a unique thing with the kids, not only were they learning the trades, but giving something back to the community as they worked on a couple of habitat projects too.
Sure. There were many years that the 11th graders built habitat homes, and they were built on site, and they brought a semi and picked up the homes and took them over to where the habitat area is, where they were built, needed homes.
I mean, what a neat learning experience for the kids to be taught how to give things back to the community too.
It's a great thing.
Yeah,
Great thing.
economy here in our area has been pretty lousy for quite a long time. We all know that. How much has that affected this program and with what you're doing with the houses, especially the 3 that are under construction right now?
It's been kind of tough lately. The economy affects our program a lot, so we're hoping that things are going to turn around in the next couple months and keep this program going. I think it's very good for the kids to learn construction, especially the ones that like to work with their hands. And even if you're going to own your own home, there's things that you need to fix up around your house. So they even learn the little things like fixing faucets and toilets and working out on your decks.
Now I noticed too here, I mean, obviously the kitchen isn't completed yet, but you got the cabinets up on the wall, the countertops are here. So that means you have to have local suppliers too, don't we?
Sure. We do use a lot of the local suppliers here in St. Clair County. Try to keep it all locally so it helps them. So Tech really goes around and helps a lot of people.
Now obviously, we're still a ways away before we finish. We've got the first house we saw that's pretty much completed, almost ready, move-in condition. If somebody is interested in purchasing one of these homes, what do they have to do? Where do they need to look, and where can they get some help for that?
Well, we have it, right now it's on the Tech website. You can find the homes on the website, and you can also go to the Tech main office and talk to Lisa, our secretary, and she will set you up to come in and see the houses. And then if you're interested in purchasing, she can set you up with all that too.
Now you said you've built about 34 houses right now. We got 3 under construction. Are all the houses filled right now, except obviously the ones that are still being worked on?
They're all full. Everyone's been living in them, been around for a long time, so they like to know that they're getting a house from Tech.
Good. Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of reaction are you getting from the homeowners?
They love them. They know that it's student built, so it's not perfect, but they understand that, but they get a good price on their homes too.
Okay, just out of curiosity, I know when I do projects at home, sometimes it's 2 or 3 times before I get it right. How is it with the students? Do they a lot of redos on some of this stuff?
Oh, yes.
Or is it,
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of redos, but we are very patient with the students. We try to direct them first so that they understand what we're doing. Then that helps when it comes to the project and getting it completed.
But I mean, that's just all part of the learning process, isn't it?
Right.
So, now, if a mom and dad came up to you and said, hey, my son or daughter is not sure what they want to do, they like working with their hands and that, what would you tell them about this program?
I think it's good for the kids. I do have, when we have open house, it's in February, a lot of parents approach me and ask the same question. My kid would like, or my child would like to get into a program. Construction sounds like, because he helps dad around or she helps dad around the program. I like to see more females in the program. So it just helps, you know, they get excited, they come in, they learn, they work with their hands, but they have to learn safety too, so.
Yeah, I was going to say that's got to be a key component for you, especially at the beginning of the school year, working with the kids with all these power tools and different things that they're working with.
Safety is a big thing in my program, and all the students learn that I'm very strict with safety, that I want to keep their fingers on their hands and nobody get hurt. So that's my big target for these kids.
What kind of reaction do you get from the kids, especially now where you're wrapping up the one house and so they can, a project's finally coming to an end for them? What kind of reaction are you getting from
Well,
the
they get
students?
really excited because they can see what they built. They can bring their friends by and say, that's the house I worked on, that's the house I built from the ground up. And I put the plumbing in, I hung drywall, I put the electrical in, you know, and built everything about the house, and they get to brag about it. And that's one great thing about construction, is that you can go around the county, outside the county, and say, that's the house I built, and you're proud of what you do.
Okay. And again, if someone is interested in looking at these houses or possibly purchasing one of them, what do they need to do?
You need to contact CCCRESA and go to the main office and ask to come in and look at them.
Great. Well, Marv, thank you for your time. It's great to see the handiwork of the kids, and it's great to see the talent that our students have in constructing these homes and really making this nice neighborhood in the city of Marysville. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Technically Speaking. We hope that you've enjoyed this look at the Construction Trades program, and we would like to thank the instructor Marvin Shagney and his students. To learn more about the homes we have seen here, please go to the Tech website at sctech.org. We hope to see you next time on Technically Speaking.